Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Behind the Veil, a show that provides insight into the world of weddings and events. I'm your host, Keith Willard. Welcome back to the show. Today, we're going to be talking about choosing your colors because it's going to be one of those questions. If you're about to plan your wedding or planning your wedding, you're going to get asked, what are your colors? And most of the time, my clients have like kind of deer in the headlight kind of reaction, like, oh my God, what are our colors? So today, our guest today, CeCe Todd, has developed a great relationship with Crayola Crayons to help you find your color story. And she's going to talk all about that. But before I bring her on, let me bring on my co-host, Marcy Gutenberg, with an Affair to Remember by Marcy. Hi, Marcy.
Hello.
So take two.
Take two. But you know what? I'm so excited because I have to tell you, this was without a doubt one of the most genius ideas I've ever heard of.
It
I
really
have
is.
clients. You sit down with clients and it's like, well, what are your colors? And you try to grab it out of them, and it's so difficult sometimes. And when they just say blue, you're like, okay, well, what color blue? There's so many different shades of blue, so we have to kind of go through all of that. And so this is a perfect idea. I mean, I could not have thought of anything better than this. I was telling a client this the other day about this particular show, and that CeCe was going to be on, and this is such a genius idea.
It really is. Well, let's bring on the genius. Hello, CeCe. Welcome.
Hi,
CeCe. We turned down my volume.
Well, y'all should have known better.
Oh, my God. Yeah. So, oh, my God. Welcome back to the show. You know, you're one of our favorites. We love you, love you, love you. Oh, my God.
Yes,
and by the way, you look amazing. Let's just put that out there. She lost. Am I allowed to say this?
Yeah. It's noticeable. I mean, if you don't, people are going to be like, she said.
40 pounds. She lost 40 pounds.
You look amazing.
Thank you.
You looked amazing before. Let me put that out there. You looked amazing before.
I love how men especially need to say that. When they're like, wow. I mean, you look good before, but wow. I'm like, It's fine. And I get it.
Yes, well, and there's a little bit of me that goes a little wishful thinking because I'm like, if she can do it, then I can do it. It's time to like drop this COVID weight. No more excuses.
It might be a whole nother show, okay? But I'm very open about it.
Yeah.
And I'll just tell you, my weight loss journey has been a long time coming. I had gastric sleeve in the year before COVID, so 2020, I guess.
Yeah.
And I lost almost 100 pounds. Now I did gain like 15 back during COVID.
Right.
And I was like, okay, not that big of a deal. Really not. You lose almost 100 pounds, but I really need to get this last bit off. And so I heard about Manjaro. I don't know if y'all have heard about Manjaro, but it is a weekly injection.
Yes.
That it's taking the world by storm. Mm-hmm. And I even told my mom and dad this last night. I said, I am never that person that it works. Anything ever works the best for. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
I'm always the person that maybe it's okay. Or no, it works for me. I am the poster child from Manjaro. I've been on it for 4 months, a little over 4 months, maybe like 4.5 months or 4 months and 2 weeks, and I've lost 40 pounds. And I am like the poster child from Manjaro.
Is that similar to the Wegovy?
It is Wegovy. It is.
Okay.
It is like Wegovy's the same. Just like, codeine is the same ingredient that's put in multiple different things. So I think Wegovy is part of Manjaro, but it's just the one that has like the best results right now.
Amazing. Okay. Well, so your color story is maybe have changed now. So, I mean, hello.
Funny, just so you know, I mean, like CeCe was an inspiration to me in me starting my journey. She doesn't even know this, but you were totally an inspiration to me because I did the same thing.
Yeah.
During COVID.
Yeah.
But it was I think, I don't know, maybe 8 months after you did it, I think.
Yep.
And, I'm on that same little path, and I'm looking into those shots right now. It's funny that you brought that up today.
Girl, run, don't walk, and get it, because it has been a game changer, because I'm very open about my weight loss journey. And I started at almost 260, got down to 175. Felt like my goal was 150, but I was like, I feel good at 175. When I gained the 15 pounds back, I was pushing like the twos again. And I was like, wait a minute. And so I really did not have a plan to get down this low, but I'm at 150, and I'm like, I didn't even know I could look like this. I was like, wait a minute, I'm happy at 175. So
that's fantastic.
It's
Well,
huge.
And again, I bet it did change your color story, because that's our thing today. It's like,
Yes.
I mean, first of all, when you told us about this, I mean, you seem to be telling us about all these amazing things, about all the, I mean, seriously. And when you said, hey, have you ever thought of using a box of Crayola crayons to come up with your color story? And I was like, duh. Oh my God, duh. I mean, this is the thing that we've been playing with and coloring with since we were kids.
Yep.
Why wouldn't we use a box of crayons to figure out what our color story is? And then Crayola comes out with an app.
Yeah. Well,
what?
Basically, kind of. You're close. You're close.
Yeah,
you're close. You're close. You're close. So I had a friend of mine. Her name is Lynn Lilly. If you don't know who she is, she's amazing. She's the craft box girl. She is like the new and up and coming, like mini Martha Stewart. She's out of Atlanta. She is just amazing. I've known her for years. I used to do like a little segment on her show, very similar to what I do for y'all. That was always just fun. And, she called me one day out of the blue and said, hey, Crayola is looking for some educators, and we would love for you to, I would love to connect y'all. How do you feel about that? And me that just jumps and never really even thinks, I was like, yes, that's amazing. And then I was like, well, what the hell am I going to do? I mean, I don't, we don't have child marriages. So I did not know how I was going to be of benefit to them. So as I I got really in my head, got very obsessive about, I am adamant about bringing value. Like, I don't care if I'm entertaining, but if I'm not bringing value, I'm just kind of a wet rag, an entertaining wet rag, but a wet rag. I have no use. So I really just sat down and just started thinking about crayons, color. How can that go to the wedding industry? And I was like, ooh, that could create a color palette. And I pitched it on the phone call with them, and you could just see them like, whoa, my God, this is it. And it just snowballed after that.
It was incredible. I mean, and I both did scan the QR code, which you can find on the ad, by the way. If you're listening to the podcast version, we did put it on our ad this week, so you can scan the QR code. And we both went through the process and found our colors, and it is incredible. I mean, it is really specific towards weddings too. And I love the fact that it allows you to do invitations, and candles even was listed on there. Colors of candles.
That's what it looks like. Just for everybody watching.
Yeah.
If they didn't download it, this is what.
Look at that. I mean, I love the fact that it's a chart that you fill in as you go, and it takes you step by step through the whole process. It's so easy. So easy. So I'm just telling you guys, if you're out there and you're listening to us, you go scan this QR code. It's totally free. Which I think is also amazing. It's totally free, so they're not going to force you to go buy a box of crayons.
No, but let me kind of fill you in on kind of the process. So the reason that I'm going to tell you, the reason that both you and Marcy are so excited is because we're in the wedding industry.
Right.
And we are so tired of black and white. Oh, somewhere, somebody wrote a memo to somebody that said all weddings are supposed to be white or white and blush.
Oh my God, we talked about that. Oh, God.
Anything else is an atrocity to nature, And I'm like, oh my God, that is not true. And it just keeps getting handed down and handed down, handed down. And then after doing some research, you find brides that are like, oh, but I don't know how to use color.
Yes.
Or they're like, oh, I'm scared of it. Is it going to look bad? And so then you have to really convince them to embrace color. And that's why you hire professionals like us, okay? Because we know how to talk to them about how to use Pantone colors and how to use, different colored flowers, okay? Because we're professionals. But what about the house mom that just wants to throw a Christmas party or a baby shower, or maybe it's somebody that can't afford any of us, can't afford a magnificent paper suite or a planner or a floral designer.
Right.
I really wanted to teach them how to embrace color and how to use it properly, because the ones that are bold enough to be like, I'm having a purple wedding, you're like,
hello, Barney.
So I really wanted to make it super friendly, super easy, and that the only tool you needed, period, was a box of crayons, preferably what I call the OG 64 by Crayola. Where can you not find a box of crayons? Okay, you have no excuses. You can find them at the gas station. You can find them at a Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Walmart, Kmart. I mean, Lord, there is no, you might not know where to find a Pantone swatch, but you can find some freaking crayons. Ta-da!
And by the way, I've already suggested this to a client. I said, look, get out a big piece of white butcher paper, throw it on your table, grab some Crayola crayons, and go to town. And just see what you like together. Because you can put, blushes and greens together. If you like that, great. You'll see it. You'll see it right there in front of you. It makes so much sense. But, talking about Pantone, they just came out with Magenta, which I wonder, we knew you were going to react
in
like
her
that.
hair.
In her hair, Magenta. But, and Magenta is a hard color. It is a deep, hard color to play with. But, of course, Magenta is a Crayola crayon color. So you can actually pull out Magenta, put it on some paper, and then start playing and see what goes with it, what you like.
And what's funny is, do y'all remember a couple of years ago when I cannot remember the exact shade of purple, but it was like Barney purple?
Yes.
That was the Pantone color?
Yes.
And so it's what my most iconic Magenta, most iconic shoot today, which still gets pinned and pinned and pinned and pinned and pinned beyond all existence. I used basically this color and this color.
Yeah.
So I used Magenta with that purple, and then used basically, here, let me show you. I'll put it together right here.
Like a pink, a light pink, and a what is that, lavender?
Pretty.
Yeah, like a lavender, a pale pink, a mauve-y pink, like a dusty rose, a lavender, a really dark purple. So this is really probably what you would call almost like very similar to monochromatic. It's all pinks and purples, but all different shades. Right. So literally the photo shoot, God, I wish I had a picture of it. My husband might have one. I could show it to you, but the photo shoot was all these colors, and it like broke the intranet.
Oh, I love that.
Everybody. And what was funny is my goal was to teach everybody how to use the Pantone color, which was purple, without making it look like Barney's first birthday.
And, and that's one of the things. It's a lot of times couples get caught into their own head. They get stopped by their own creative process and go, oh my God, I can't think anything past Barney. What do I do? And using simple tools, using these simple tools that we all play with.
Marcy probably deals with it probably more than anybody with paper suites and.
Oh yes.
The good thing about the good thing about you is that you don't have to let them pick the colors. You do it for them. But God, if people just knew what went into that, you know what I'm saying? Like that their wedding invitations don't have to just be white with an embossed letter. That's pretty, but that you can have watercolor, that you can have florals on it. You can have feathers on it, whatever, gold gilding, whatever. And that's funny that I even said that too, because I don't think I brought one in here, but when I originally did this concept for Crayola on their page, I not only used the OG 64, but I used their metallic box of crayons.
Oh, I love the metallic box.
Right?
That's a great idea.
Look at Marcy's face. She's like, so, yes. Okay. You need the metallic box. So look at that.
Because you have to pull it out of them.
Oh my!
Oh, beautiful!
God.
There it is. I've seen. Yes.
So there's hot magenta even mixed in. Okay,
And
but what I was doing was using
like crazy.
Yeah,
this color, really the purple, but I did all of this to show how to use that color properly. And look, we put it in the cake, in the paper suite.
That's amazing.
Hand painted owl runner. I mean, you name it.
Wow.
When we brought burgundy in, look at his jacket right here. Do you see what I'm saying? So
yes.
We ran.
I love the fact that you even brought it into his clothing.
That's cool,
even his jacket had that color.
Yeah.
But how stylish.
But look at this. So this is the metallic. So if somebody's trying to figure out how to use, like, what color looks best with this. Okay.
I didn't even know they came out with metallic. Yep. Now I'm excited.
Yep. So like you can get a gold, a dark gold, a light gold, an orangey gold, but it's more of a copper. So if you're thinking like, what do I like better, a gold or maybe a rose gold metallic accent with this color palette I picked? Right. Look, you can just pull out the metallic crayons.
Right.
Draw, use our printable and see like what looks best. Do you like a warmer shade? Do you like a lighter shade? And if it looks good to you and like 5 of your friends, unless they're colorblind, that's a good color palette. So yeah.
I love this.
I'm going to the dollar store after this.
I mean, how easy and accessible is it? But
that's what I'm saying is that, these are tools that everybody can use, and it does make it a lot more accessible and makes it an easier process. And me as an event planner, many times I actually lean heavily on my florist and my designers because my job is logistics. I mean, I really find my job is more about like making sure that the day goes perfectly and then connecting them with the right people and having tools like this in my pocket to help them, come up with their story. Yeah. Because that's what, and Marcy and I were just talking about this. I mean, because a lot of times brides will get into their head, or couples will get into their heads about Pinterest boards or Instagram, and that's not them. They like it. It's a beautiful photo, but if they're given a chance, would they have chosen different colors for their wedding? And many times the answer is going to be yes, because they went what was safe.
And they just needed somebody to tell them.
Yeah.
Number one, it's okay. You don't have to have white. And number two, let me help you figure it out. Yeah. Like that. If you do those two things, people will always opt for color. I mean, even the wedding I did this past weekend, the photographer was like, "Thank you, God, for color." Like, I'm so tired of shooting white. And I mean, just people don't realize how nice it is and how beautiful and how different it can be if you'll just trust your professionals. But if you don't,
there you go. You got the Crayola.
We do our best to try to listen to our clients, and I mean, ultimately, it's the client's decision. It's their big day, but when you're open and you're willing to allow the professional to guide you, and they can help listen to you. They'll listen to you, but they'll also try to help you open the door a little bit further so that it does give those, the images really are what you're going to look back on, and you're going to look back on the papers and you're going to look back at, on these memories. So you want something that is beautiful, but, you got to be open to it.
Right.
And some of the best photos that you see in People magazine and you see in all of these magazines are not a blush and white weddings. They are full of color, bold, beautiful colors. And then think about florals just in general. I mean, you walk through a meadow of any sort during the spring, it is all bold, beautiful colors that you want to bring into your wedding. Nobody, I know I don't look good in a white suit. I mean, hello, red hair and white, I go super pasty.
Oh my God, I love it.
But you could do the blush. I mean, you could do blush with magenta and, and bring in some metallic. I mean, how gorgeous would that be?
Yeah. I mean, that's literally what I was sitting here, and I wanted to show y'all kind of a prime example. Okay. So part of the reason why I always have selfish motives a lot of times too when I create things. I mean, who doesn't? I want to find ways to make my life better. Okay.
Right.
And so one of my biggest pet peeves outside of baby's breath in mason jars.
Wait. No. Let's put in some like fairy lights. Oh,
and fairy lights.
Wouldn't that be groundbreaking?
Yes, it is. And which is weird is because this year is brought on a caveat, which is to this there is a disclaimer to this, but I hate unnaturally colored flowers unless it is like those iridescent, like you're going for like that artisan look, and it's like the flower pistil or house of flowers, those like iridescent painted anthuriums that just
love
look
that.
That like Beyonce had. Like if you're going for that real funky wild, like you're an artist, and that's yes. Okay, there's the caveat.
Right.
Do not bring your blue tie-dyed orchids to the wedding because you like blue and you wanted blue in your wedding. Okay. God did not make these. There is no country to where blue tie-dyed roses or flowers grow naturally. All right. And they are not artistic. Stop. Okay. So this was like, how do I teach people that you can love blue and you can want blue in your wedding, but this is not where you put it, okay? Which is why on the printout, if you download it, I talk about where, okay, like I get you to pick your colors that you like with your metallic. Right. And then we talk about what is going to look good under that color. And I kind of give you a breakdown, but I also talk about right here in step 3, the elements to use the color in. So let's say this is your color palette, like a springy color palette.
So, like a blue, a pink.
White, pretty peach. You want some blue, some pink, a softer blue. Great, okay? All of these, you can have the flowers be like peaches and pinks and whites and pale yellows. This is not your color palette for your flowers, where you would bring this in. Maybe this.
Yeah, into your linen. Use the blues in your linen.
Maybe your bridesmaids' dresses. Maybe your paper suite that I see probably Marcy reaching over for. Yes, ma'am. That is where you use that bold color that you love.
Right.
Not
a dendrobium orchid.
Not a tie-dyed orchid. No.
But you know, it's amazing how many times I see a tie-dyed dendrobium blue orchid stuck in a vase of water with a floating candle on top. And I'm like, please, there are so many other options out there. Can I just help you? Can I just take that damn thing out and we'll throw a bunch of fruit in there? I don't know. I mean, anything. I just
like candles all put together with some greenery looks better than a $20 stem of tie-dyed orchids that you submerged and looked like you were drowning because you hated their sister or something. Like it's just not that does not make a beautiful centerpiece. Like that's not it.
I know. And you know, and there's so many other materials just in general. I mean, I have walked around Home Depot with the thought process of what can I use in here for decor? And it's amazing how many things pop out. Like you're just like, oh my God. I mean, the bamboo skirting for a tiki party, the lava rocks, the pavers. I mean, it's just crazy.
Walk around IKEA, like a Lowe's, but Lord IKEA. I'm like, oh, I need that. I could use all of those, 40 of these. I'm like, I don't care that that's a sofa. We could use it as a settee and we could open. I mean, like,
it's incredible. It's incredible. We do a designers challenge every year for NACE down here in South Florida, and it's a tablescape challenge at IKEA. And they allow us to run through the whole store, grabbing whatever we want. And so there's teams of 10, and they're each given a different size table, and they have to create a tablescape. And
I'm coming to be on your team, Keith.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
I mean, I wasn't.
You come down.
You
have to come down.
But the stuff that they come up with is incredible. It is just incredible. All just using nothing but IKEA products.
Right.
And
then the public judges it.
and then the public judges it. And
I'll be your ringer, Keith. I got
I love
you.
it.
Okay.
I love it. I love it. I'm all over that. I'm gonna win.
Like I said, I was on Table Wars. That's what we did, even though that was like.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, if you open your mind a little bit, and if you're a couple out there and you're just starting your planning process, open your mind a little bit. You don't look at what other people are doing. Look at what you want to do, and start looking at things in a new perspective, in a new way. And you never know when you're the inspiration that is going to hit. You could be at a dollar store and all of a sudden go, wait, oh, I can, not that I can think of anything at a dollar store at the moment.
Home goods.
Oh, Crayolas. Hello, crayons. Yeah, or Home Goods. Oh my God, Home Goods, please.
Home Goods, yeah. But I mean, I was even looking at the picture behind you, Keith. I mean, and I love what you said earlier. I love how you and Marcy have already delved into this since our last conversation, or like, we're pros. Like, I literally love what you said. Go buy a box of crayons, and I just tell everybody, just throw them out. Just throw them out. And what speaks to you, okay? Like, what is your favorite color out of all those? It runs the gamut. So pick your favorite and then just start finding ones that look good with it. And that's why I say the Crayola 64. I mean, granted, they have like the 125, and there's the colors of the world. I mean, that's probably one of my most favorite things. I'm getting sidetracked, but I'm going to come back. Is if you go to my TikTok, which is CeCe Design CeCe, and my Instagram, you will see that I did full weddings based on Crayola color palettes. And the Pantone, really? I mean, the colors of the world, which I love that they came out with. I don't have that one in here. But the colors of the world is the all nudes and beiges. I call it the Kim Kardashian color palette.
Yes.
Because it's for all the skin tones. Because bravo, Crayola, not everybody is this color. Okay. Right. So Crayola was like, let's make all the skin tones. And if you take that and you create a color palette with that, you come up with like a neutral, nude, beige, Sahara, quicksand, that whole nude, pampas grass, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Like whole wedding. And I said, so I took this box and look at what it turned into. And then I did the same thing with the colors of kindness, because they're all kind of like these pastel, pretty light colors. And so I did a whole wedding based on this. So you can see those on my TikTok and my Instagram, but there's no reason not, like, you just don't have an excuse anymore. I have made it as easy as a box of crayons.
And I love the fact that you stood by your own word, that you said, look at what I did. I went from a box of crayons to a full-fledged wedding. You can see it all on the TikTok. From the concept to the creation. Yeah.
And I mean, like what I was going to say just a second ago, if you look at the picture that's digitized behind you, but even that blue one, like if you love blue, you can find that picture that you have. Okay. Yep. And look at it. It's got whites in it. It's got teal in it. It's got like a turquoise sapphire color. It's got a royal blue. It's got white in the sky. It's got baby blue. Like, look at all that in that picture. And I guarantee you, I could take that picture and find a crayon that matches every one of those. And then even the skin color of the humans that are in that picture could be like the peaches that you bring in, the white in the clouds, but then also like those blues. And that's how you create a color palette based off of just the colors that if it looks beautiful together in a picture, it's going to look beautiful together as a color palette. Like, it's that simple.
I love it. And so, by the way, if you're listening to us and you haven't been able to use the QR code, I just went to Google and put story CeCe Todd, and it pulled up a whole bunch of her videos that you can see specifically how she went from using crayons to the full-fledged event. So check that out.
Can you repeat that?
Yeah. So if you go to URL? So if you go to Google and put in Crayola Crayon Color Story CeCe Todd, it's going to pull up the videos that show you exactly how she went from crayons to finished product. It's
And
incredible.
you have the QR code, right? Like, do you have it where we could drop it in the link, or do I need to drop it in the link to where they can get it?
Yeah,
can you pull it up here?
I can. I think I can pull it up here. Let me see.
Okay, so while he's doing that, Marcy, explain to me like how beneficial this would be for your clients coming to you for paper.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I sit down with people and they're like, well, I kind of like this, I kind of like this, and they just don't get it. You know, they have no concept of like where to pull it all together. And I can do it, but you know, you have to know your client. I mean, you have to know like their personality, what are their likes, you know, what don't they like, and so forth. So you kind of want to pull it all together and marriage it all together. I mean, this right here was a perfect example because you have the blues, you have some foil on the inside, which is silver, and then to marry it all together, I mean, this right here is like a beautiful color paper. I don't know if you can see it.
Now you can,
And then you have the foil color, but it's like an iridescent. And then in the back, you can do like an iridescent. But when you're, you know, when you have somebody come in and they have they look on Pinterest and they see something and they like it, but they're not like 100% sold.
Right.
You just got to go in and listen to the professionals, because we have so many tools and so many, in so much experience in knowing what's going to really make your guest, you know, excited and set you apart from every other wedding. I mean, you it's your special day. It should be special. So allow us to help you set your best tone.
Heck yeah. And look, this is kind of that color palette in real time.
Yes.
So here's that turquoise, and this is called Robin's Egg Blue.
Robin's Egg. I love Robin's Egg. It's a beautiful color.
But you were almost a little bit more teal. Hold on.
It's a little teal. Yeah.
Yeah. I think this might be closer, which is, what is this called? Turquoise blue. Ta-da. Look at there. Okay. So turquoise blue. And then this is metallic silver. Okay. So this is kind of like your glitter color.
Yes.
And in real time, I'm going to show you, if that was my paper suite, okay, more than likely I would use a lighter greenery, a lot of white flowers.
Pretty.
A lot of, let's see, almost like a corally shade flower. And maybe even go into the pale pinks a little bit. Not quite sure.
Yeah, I was
and
going
then
to
have
say
like
lighter pink would be pretty with that.
Like your flowers would kind of be more this color, like peaches, whites, creams, pinks.
Beautiful.
With a lighter
greenery.
And then use turquoise linens.
Right.
You could even use turquoise stemware. Oh my God.
Menu cards.
And then silver accents, silver chargers, silverware, nice. Foil, you know, metallic. Oh my God, it's endless. And so you start with like, hey, this is what my paper suite is. I know I love it. It's my inspiration piece. Now let's build everything else around that.
Love it.
It's gravy. I mean, it just really helps. It just pulls it all together.
And
there you go. I love it.
Ta-da. So we just popped up the QR code up on our screen. So if you're looking at YouTube, you can just click that really quick. Just take your camera and bring it out and click on this QR code. It's going to take you right to the Crayola Crayon color story. Again, it's going to be on the ad for our podcast. So you can just click on the ad and then you'll see the QR code on there. Look at that.
It was really highlighting Marcy's lips. Did y'all see that? It was right in that little break in between. I was like,
oh, it was. Look at that. Look at the lips right there. Love it.
Looks really good today.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
I'm wearing the magenta.
I'm so proud of you.
You are. You really are. You just dove right into that.
I did. I love the color magenta. It's a beautiful color.
Now, did y'all
especially looks good with dark hair.
Did y'all bring yours to play? Like, did you bring your color?
I have mine up on the screen.
Yeah, so she's got hers on the screen. I've got mine up on my phone.
Oh, let me see. I want to see what y'all did. I want to
find it. Hold on.
I want to let them see what it looks like in real time when somebody does it. Because I didn't think about doing mine. I probably should.
No, I can't find it. Where'd it go?
You know, mine would have been like pink, and pink.
No. Hold on. Where'd it go? See, and now, oh, there we go. Okay, wait, no, that's your website.
Close enough.
I went right back to her website. Dang it. It went away from my screen.
Oh no.
I know. It's okay. It's okay because I can go right back and start playing again. So that's all that matters.
That's
And,
fine.
and again, check it out because I think this is a really lovely tool for couples that are out there. And I think that was really lovely. CeCe, amazing.
Thanks.
Amazing.
I mean,
Of course.
even like companies can use this for like their brand colors when they're trying to rebrand. If they if they want to rebrand their colors. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, if you can get past the idea that that you can find solutions for $1, I mean, this is the way to go. It was incredible, and of course,
it really is. And like you said, we talked about it. Pantone's color of the year is magenta. So people are really desperate. Like, ooh, like I love the thought of using the Pantone color. Find the magenta in the Crayola box. It's in there. And then find what speaks to you and what works with you. And this isn't, now granted, we're on the wedding industry and that was where this was birthed from. Okay. But I say this in my videos talking about it. And I also, even in the list of things that I just give you some examples of, it's not just for weddings. It's for if you want to have a holiday party. And what are colors that look good in my home?
Yes.
Okay. Or maybe I'm redecorating and I am dead set on getting a magenta couch. Okay. What's going to look good with a magenta couch in my den? That's where people, real life, you get stuck and you're like, I don't know, so I'll just get a beige one.
I'll get a brown couch.
You know what I'm saying? It's in every aspect of our life. What's going to look good with this ottoman that's an emerald green color? Get your crayons out. You want to paint a room? Get your crayons out. Have a baby shower. It doesn't just have to be bubblegum pink. What other colors are going to look good with bubblegum pink? What metallics? What greenery? What are you going to call the floral designer and ask them to do the flowers in? It can't all be bubblegum pink. It'll just look like Pepto-Bismol threw up all over the place. So you need breaks in the color. So holiday parties, home decor, decorating, craft projects, paper sweep, whatever. Anybody who has looked at a color wheel and been like, fuck it, I don't even know how to use that thing. This is color wheel for dummies.
You know what else? I was just thinking of when you were talking about doing, redecorating a home. I mean, how many times do you go out? And first of all, light plays a big factor when you're painting walls. So when you have to go out and you have to paint your walls, you go out and you buy all these little sample swatches sample paints. Yeah. Before you go to the paint store, start taking those Crayola crayons, put them against the wall, and then see, you can kind of narrow it down a little bit before you go to the paint store and start buying all of those little swatches.
Take these to Lowe's and be like, match these. This is the color I need.
Oh my God. I don't know if y'all remember this. Did you guys used to take the wax paper and put Crayola crayons?
Yes.
Use your iron? Oh my God. As soon as you said that, I was like, oh my God. That's what we used to do is we would take the shavings, put it in between wax paper, use an iron and bloop, 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 bloop. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you'd have this really beautiful piece of art. Well, at least it was beautiful when I was 6. I don't know. No.
Yeah. It's still good. Mom and Dad was still hanging on the refrigerator.
I love also what Marcy said too. Like if you're thinking about painting your walls, you can either go find swatches that match this or just draw on your walls with your crayons. Make sure you really like that color because you're going to paint over it. Lowe's, all of them can color match. Like they're going to hate me. I'm going to start getting hate mail from Home Depot and Lowe's, and they're going to be like, are you the hussy that told everybody to bring me crayons? But you're be like, color match these. Here you go. This is the color that I'm looking for. And therefore, that's exactly, if you like this color, they're going to color match it. And that's what's going on your wall. You don't have to worry with swatches anymore. You can just be like, I drew on the walls. This works. I like it.
Even a close color, because you can hone down, think about it this way. If you're trying to do a gray and you want something that maybe has a little bit more green or blue, blue into it, you kind of can figure out, okay, well, let's go more in this direction.
You can
bring those in and they'll figure it out. They'll help you.
Yeah.
I think we've sold it. I think everybody's gonna run out. They're gonna buy a box of OG Crayola crayons, 64 colors. They're gonna buy the metallics. They're gonna buy everybody out of all of their different types of crayons, and then people are gonna be marking all over their walls.
And it's a great time to do it too because of the holidays. Yep. I mean, those things will probably they're probably like stocked up.
So, again, CeCe, thank you, because every time you're on the show, you bring us something new, something innovative that we have not thought about before, and everybody goes, duh, oh my God, why did we not think about this?
I mean, it's amazing the things that just come in my head sometimes. Sometimes it's scary, but this is probably one of the things I am more proud of, that just how quickly it came to fruition for me, and thinking about it. And I really would be fine dying one day and then being like, that was the Crayola girl. You know, like that can be my legacy, is that I taught everybody how to use color as an adult by using their crayons, like your favorite childhood toy, crayons. And you know, it doesn't have to be just for kids. It really doesn't.
That's awesome.
Oh my God, sweetie. Thank you again for being on Behind the Veil. It's always lovely to have you. Marcy, of course, Marcy Gutenberg with An Affair to Remember. Me, your host, Keith Willard at KeithWillardEvents.com. I never even talk about my own company. There you go. We will see you again next Tuesday at 2 o'clock. But for now, everybody say goodbye.